What's going on, you guys? Hello. You already know it's our Sunday drive. Just finished working for today. I'm gonna drive home. Happy Mother's Day for anybody. What's up, Mama? Also happy. And shout out to you guys who have lost a mom, because I know that today could be tough for you guys too. So shout out to you guys, man. If you need an adopted mom, I'll be your mom. Should have never ran over that. Leo, what's going on, Firecracker? How you doing? Yes, we're driving home. I'm about to hit the highway, so I can't look at the chat. So I'll just speak off the top of the dome. How you doing, Mendham? You know, it was one of the weirdest things I was thinking about today, because it's Mother's Day. Last year, Mother's Day, right? We were at the other house and we were renting one now that we bought. And you know how I spent, this is how crazy life is, right? You know how I spent last year's Mother's Day? My mom was bedridden. Kenny and Lola's father, because, you know, my siblings, Kenny and Lola, they have the same dad, but I have a different father. Their father comes over, and literally we spent Mother's Day, like, it was my mom, Kenny and Lola's dad, Kenny and Lola. And it was just spent of like my mom going over things with Kenny Lola's father, of like a contingency plan in case she doesn't beat the cancer. And like this year, like as we speak right now, my mom's at brunch. So it's so fucking crazy how life is. Like where I was last year to where I am now, it's just that's why, like, when it comes to shit like depression, which I've dealt with all my life, like, I tell people, like, I'm living proof that it gets better. That yes, there are tough times, and nobody in this fucking world could tell you that your sadness is warranted or whatever. Fucking sadness is sadness. If you feel it, you fucking feel it. You feel me? But, and this comes from someone who has tried to give up many times in their youth. Like, can you imagine 16-year-old Gary that wanted to give up in the psych ward, really going through with what I had in mind to do, and not experiencing everything that has happened since then, since I was 16? So when I go ahead and I tell you, like, it does get better, it really does. Like, I would never imagine last year we buy our own house with a pool, my mom would be at brunch twerking, most likely, like me making money off YouTube. Like, I would have never in a million years thought about that. So it's just a little PSA. Like, I know like depression fucking sucks, and those thoughts of like wanting to, as now all content creators have to say, unalive. But it really does get better. It really does. Life is a fucking roller coaster. There's ups and downs. Sometimes the roller coaster stays down for a lot of times, but then it goes up. I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about. Just like my mom was literally bedridden, telling Kenny and Lola's father, like, if anything happens to you, you need to step up and you need to make sure that your kids don't do no stupid shit. You know, talking about that, talking about life insurance. Like, it was crazy last year. That could happen in 12 months. Don't get me wrong, it could go completely the other way around. But I don't know. I'm happy. I don't know, those were the thoughts that I had logically, I'm not, because I can't expect people to know when they do some shit to me without expressing, which is something that I'm working on. This is why we're going to therapy. But it's like, okay, so Simba was supposed to do a versus with King Yermesh in Smash Brothers, which he has said, even like in private calls, that he doesn't like it. He doesn't like playing Smash. And it's not that he doesn't like playing Smash, it's that his community has made it toxic that he doesn't want to play them. And I agree. I was like, one of the reasons why I stopped playing Smash is because you'll have two people in the arena and they'll just stand and not fight, eating up time and shit. And it's like, yo, you gotta police that shit. You can't have that shit going on, because you're basically running a show. And if you're running a show and it's just two people standing on the edge of the map throwing items at each other, that it kind of fucks with the flow. But fine, you're supposed to do the verses with King Yermesh. King Yermesh doesn't show up because they scheduled it on a day that a Knicks game was happening. So, you know, me and Yermesh were actually New Yorkers. Knicks are in the finals, well, not no more, but they were, and that's like my Juventus. Like, Knicks only make it to the finals like maybe every other 7 years. So I get why King Yermesh didn't show up. He thought it was gonna be finish on time and come back, and it didn't. So Simba's stuck playing this game that he already scheduled that he doesn't want to play no more. Now I'm working, so I can't jump in and be like, fuck it, let's me and you do a versus. But what I can do is give you an idea, because at this point what he's doing is he's not playing with nobody. He has like a good 10-15 people watching him, because he has built his foundation of his channel on Smash Brothers. That's how I found Simba. So all his day ones are like, oh shit, Simba's playing Smash again. Oh shit. But he's not playing with nobody because, and I quote, he says he really hates this game. So fuck it. I'm driving and I'm watching him, and he's basically just playing with a computer on like level 5, which to me as a viewer and to me as a moderator is not that entertaining. So I throw out an idea, something that I was gonna do next week, already in Smash. So I'm like, fuck it, you're in a tight spot, I'll give you my idea. It's not an original idea, but it was something that I was gonna do. Literally in the car, I'm reworking everything. I'm like, okay, if he does this, then I could do this to try to beat his score. Then we could set up a versus and then move that versus over to Street Fighter, which me, King Yermesh, and Simba, we're all gonna be on that. So it's a good kind of like to start that shit. But for whatever reason, Simba doesn't want to do it. I start being obnoxious like I usually am to kind of like goad him into doing it, which has become also like canon in our friendship, in our YouTube friendship. Like, people are literally saying, oh, Gary's in the chat, he's gonna make him do it. How long is it gonna be for Gary to actually make him do it? So I'm going to extremes and shit, because again, at this point, all he's doing is fighting a level 5 computer. It's not entertaining. People are coming in, leaving. So I'm like, all right, do the Iron Man challenge, which is basically you go online, start to finish. You start with Mario, you finish with whoever the hell was the last person. I forgot. Is it Cloud? I forgot. Well, basically you go in order, and you stop whenever you lose one time. So I'm like, this will be fun. You're not going against people, but people are actually seeing something. Once I say online, he starts, oh no, online, all this other stuff, and I'm like, okay, bro. I'm like, all right, so don't do it, because this is the part where I'm warranted in how I reacted, but I'm not warranted logically, because no one knows this. All you guys have ever heard is me say how I've used to give ideas to other YouTubers, they capitalize on it, and then they don't fuck with me no more. Or I give them a good idea, they half-ass it, and then they blame me that the idea didn't work. Like, before I really focused on my YouTube channel, I was part of a content creating group, and that's what happened. I was the idea guy. When my ideas popped, they wouldn't credit me, and when it didn't, they'll be like, oh, you see, your ideas suck. So I give him this idea. He's fighting on me on it, which is like, why are you fighting me? I've never really given you a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time I give you an idea, it helps you. So like, at this point, I've already proven myself, like, whenever Gary gives someone an idea, it pops off. So now I have to do something that I really don't like, which is exactly what I just said. Give a plan to a video series beforehand, because I see things in the eyes of an audience, or better yet, I see things in the eyes of a magician. If I show you the trick, it's gonna be meaningless if I show you how to do the trick. The whole point is the trick. So if I go ahead and I say, do this, so next week I can do that, and then come June, we can do this. You get what I'm saying? It defeats the purpose of building up a new Versus series for the summer. But now, because I feel like he doesn't trust me, he doesn't want to play this game, now I have to be in his chat and write basically a whole script out of what we got to do. Now that I wrote the whole script out, now he's like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And that already set me off. Now, where I got completely pissed off was the fact that he half-assed it. If I give somebody an idea, because it wouldn't work for my channel, it wouldn't work for the content I do, and I give you an idea and you half-ass it, I get so fucking pissed off. That sets me off so bad. And then that's what, so he goes in, he's playing as Mario, and I shit you not, he's probably playing against a little kid. Because when I tell you he half-assed that battle, he won barely trying. He won barely trying. And I was like, if you would have just made it just a bit more entertaining, you would have had a little bit more fun, you would have got your clips, and then you would have helped me later on this week, because I'm not just gonna randomly throw Smash Brothers to, you know, like a new audience. It would literally be me trying to beat your record in the Iron Man challenge, and then we versus each other, you versus King, and we've already set the foundation for Street Fighter. But now you're half-assing on my idea, and now I feel kind of disrespected, because at that point, just don't fucking do it. But you can say no and be like, Gary, for real? No, and I'll drop it. But then here comes like the whole foundation, and the biggest like shit is when somebody says you play too much. That right there, that hits me in the childhood. Like, Gary, if anybody meets Gary in person, Gary's quiet. Gary's soft-spoken. I speak basically in a whisper. I'm very calculated with the way that I engage with people, because the real Gary is very obnoxious. He's funny, he's playful, he's a prankster. But always in my life, somebody comes around and says you play too much, and then I feel like, oh, I gotta put the mask back on, because nobody likes the real Gary. So to see my YouTube best friend say that, like, I play too much, I'm like, fuck, another person I gotta go ahead and put the mask on. So it was just that's mostly what it was. So like, when that happens, I keep people like at arm distance, because it's like, now I can't be myself around you, and that fucking sucks, because I thought I found my people. And, you know, maybe it could be forgiven, but I know myself. I hold grudges. This is like one of the worst things about me. I hold grudges for years. I know this motherfucker named Joandy that owes me $1 in the 4th grade. And the day I see him, I swear, yo, he still got to give me that $1. You get what I'm saying? Like, I hold grudges. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing about me personally. But like, I could rekindle the relationship with my father if I took the first step and be like, yo, you really fucked me up as a kid. But I won't, because I hold grudges. I've been around my other family. Hell, I've sold Teddy's puppies to my father's side of the family and still won't speak to my father. So where does that leave me and Simba? I don't know, maybe we'll just stay cordial. The catalyst to the group that I was a part of, there was a lot of fuck shit going on in the background, but like the shit that kind of happened similar to this, that made me say, fuck it, I don't want to do this shit no more, was when I came up with a video idea. This is when Spider-Man No Way Home was coming out. This was my idea, right? You guys know those YouTube channels that go around with like a microphone or something and they start asking people questions and shit like that. So my idea is there's not really a nerdy version of that, right? So I was like, okay, let's do a nerdy version of this, but let's do it for Spider-Man No Way Home. Remember, at that point in time, spoiler alert, the biggest rumor was that that movie was gonna have the 3 Spider-Mans, right? So my idea was, let's go to the midnight release of the movie. Let's interview people going in and leaving the movie theater, and interview them in a spoiler-free kind of way, right? With the biggest question, like the clip question, would have been, marry, fuck, kill the 3 Spider-Mans. Who would you marry? Who would you fuck? Who would you kill? You know what I'm saying? Hasn't been done. That video was supposed to pop. I am still working this job. That movie came out on a Thursday. I believe at that time I didn't have Fridays off. So we go, we shoot. Oh, and then we review the movie at the end of the whole video of everything. A spoiler-free review. So we can basically take 3 clips. Interviews about how people thought the movie was, the marry, fuck, kill, and then the review at the end. That's 3 clips that we could get from one whole entire, live cast. So in order for all of that to happen, I was the main 10 X video, so it could be out on time. We had somebody that handled marketing for all the socials, and then we had somebody whose job it was to upload it on time. The main dude, his job was to upload it. His wife was in charge of the marketing. His wife didn't do the marketing. He uploaded it on that Saturday, so the movie was already out. It was a good idea that had to come out at that moment, and they didn't do shit. So, had everything came out on time, that would have done great. It would have done numbers. But because it was my idea, and nobody really wanted to, they half-assed it. It didn't come out on time, and then it didn't do well. And that's where that whole situation comes from. That whole half-assing on my ideas. Like, you know how many times people have told me, don't do hood early releases? Oh, don't do hood early release. Why? Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. You're breaking street date. I'm like, oh, actually, if you actually read it, I'm not really breaking street date. Street date is between the distributor and the retail. It has nothing to do with the customer. When I used to work at GameStop, if for whatever reason you was to scan a game to sell it and it wasn't available to sell, you had to manually put in your initials, put in your employee numbers, and I'm not even lying, within seconds the district manager got called and you had to, like, yeah, this is happening, we're giving this guy this game at this, like, there's a lot of fucking stop measures to make sure you don't sell a game, which is on the retail and it's on the distributor. It has nothing to do with the customer whatsoever. But you know how many people shitted on the hood early release idea? OD people. And now, honestly, if I really put pen and paper to it, hood early release, it's its own shit that is not that nobody has ever done before, but it's weird. And I learned that a lot with Atomic Heart. I learned that shit so much with Atomic Heart because it was like, when the developer of Atomic Heart hit me up through email and through Twitter as well, he's like, listen, you're about to get to a point that might spoil the story for people. We love it. We are literally here in Russia, sitting around we're in a living room watching you play, taking live notes on things we need to add to the day 1 patch to fix. And it was like, one, it was amazing marketing for a small developer for their first game. And second, they were able to actually like see certain shit that was probably missed when they actually hired playtesters. So it's like, can you imagine if these gaming companies goes ahead, and not even big fucking YouTubers, I'm talking about like small content creators, they're like, hey, here's this copy of a game, stream it for about this many hours. And then you have a team just sitting there jotting down things they need to fix before a day 1 patch, or actually listening to people and seeing people in the chat actually saying, oh, I like this, oh, I don't like this. Like, that shit is amazing. And I think it's not a review, it's not a live review, it's its own thing that still hasn't evolved yet, that I really, like, if I put pen and paper to it could be its own genre of videos. That's why each and every time I just take the chance. I'd rather take the strike, because I know I'm sitting on a gold mine I just don't know what to fucking call it. I don't know. It's not a before you buy, because a before you buy is basically a review. I'm not a reviewer. I feel like, honestly, I feel like I have a certain level of technological knowledge when it comes to making certain content like video games or movies or music in order to be a reviewer. Anybody could just go ahead, put up a camera and be like, yeah, this game sucks because of graphics. But that doesn't do anything for me because I'm not a graphics guy anyways. But if you could go ahead and break down for me, like, oh, yeah, when you're at a certain distance, the draw distance of when you're looking at a mountain and start stuttering, and it really breaks the immersion, then it's like, okay, that's a good reviewer. So I know for a fact that Hood Early Releases is not a review thing, because all I'm really doing is giving my first impressions. And I don't really know technical jargon like that. I think it's like the closest thing it could be is to that phenomenon in the 90s where you'll go into an electronics store and be able to actually, hands-on controllers, play a demo of a game. There's no fucking IGN playing the game horribly. No, it's you. There is no filters. There's no hiding shit. It is the bare bones of the game. Do you like it? Is it worth your money? And I know there's something with that. Like, this is them shits like when the motherfucker who made Google was sitting down and he was like, I'm gonna make a search engine for the internet. Like, I know this genre is something like that. I just have to find a perfect way to perfect it. And it really helps and pops off when I could get hands-on early with a game. Not just a day early, because then I'm kind of competing with people from the Netherlands and from Europe and stuff like that, because they're just a day ahead of us. That's why you see, honestly, a lot of European content creators with a high subscriber numbers, because they get to play the game earlier than most people. So they get to stream it earlier than most people. How's everybody's weekend? How was everybody's week? I know I can't really, goddamn, that's like the 5th dead deer. People just out here hitting deers like it's fucking Mario Kart. How's everybody's weekend going? How's everybody's Mother's Day going? I know I have more shit to talk about, but I can't see the chat because I'm driving. I'm trying to get canceled over stupid shit. One thing that I would add to the whole Simba thing is I wish he'd go back and rewatch that stream, because there was something really magical that I noticed that I believe and I feel in my heart, not only as his friend, but as someone who started as, you get what I'm saying, someone who loved his Smash series while it was still going. The amount of people that would go on, because one of the things that I love about Simba is that he adds everybody. He's like, this is my friend code added. But one of the most magical shit that I saw that I wish he would see, because I know if he was jaded to Smash, and it's something that I feel like he takes for granted, because if King Urameshi would have this same engagement with the fighting games he plays, King Urameshi would blow up like crazy, because King is like tournament level. Like, I'm above like average level. Simba's, I would say he's like average level. I'm above average level. But then King is like, if King really wanted to, King could make money in tournaments level kind of fighting game. So here's the shit that I wish like Simba would really like go back and see. He's playing Smash, right? He's online. The amount of people that are just popping up, and you can see in the left hand corner, because every time somebody is online, that he gets that notification. I hate it when I play PlayStation, but he leaves it on. You see somebody go online, that person go to Smash Brothers, then in the stream you'll see his number go up by 1, and then once they hear him say, oh, I'm not playing with nobody, it goes back down by, it goes back, like, they leave the stream. And it's like, if you would have only see how many people are, they just love you so much that they want to play with you. And then you're like shitting on somebody's favorite game, and it's like, I don't know. And I get it. There's some games where you're just like, I don't want to play this shit no more. That happened to me with Dying Light 2. To this day, I haven't even finished Dying Light 2 because that shit was trash. I did a Hood Early release for it, And I was already saying like a good 15 minutes in, I was like, this ain't dying like the first one. This shit is kind of caca. But nobody watched that. Then they bought it. Then they got a load of reviews, and then people like this shit's trash. And then that helped people from buying Dead Island 2, which I kind of want to play, but I'll wait for a price drop. I heard it's linear. Dead Island 2. It's not bad. I think after Tears of the Kingdom, which I've been playing off stream, nothing story wise, just like unlocking shit. I found a way to make it to Hyrule Castle. Shout out to Richie. Richie was also part of that group, so he left first. Richie was like, yo, I just flew and then I just ate some shit that put up my stamina and then I made it. So I was like, oh, bet. And I did the same shit and I made it and I cleared out Hyrule Castle. But I think after Tears of the Kingdom, we gotta talk to Lance, because I saw Lance on Twitter and he was saying some horrible shit about Diablo 4, how it's supposed to be like filled with microtransaction and shit, and I hope that's not it, because I was really looking forward to playing some Diablo 4 with you guys. I'm not gonna lie. But if he's saying it's bad, bro, I believe Lance. I gotta talk to him though. I gotta get his first impressions, because yo, these games are getting expensive. Because it's a toss-up. Because if Diablo 4 is not that good, then I know that we can probably do Final Fantasy. We'll do a hood already release for it, and then we'll probably do a birthday stream. Because my birthday is on the 22nd, Wicked is on the 19th, my mom is also on the 19th, cousin Kathy is on the 21st. You guys gotta let me know your birthdays, so I can shout your heads up. Actually, my room finally mopped. My room needed to be mopped. I just need. I've told you guys, like, my secret addiction is like comforter sets. There's nothing better in this world than getting some dope ass new covers and comforter. Oh my god, nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. Take a nice shower, lotion up, and then just lay on some brand new bed sheets. The thing is, when I moved, I threw away a lot of comforters. So now I only really have two. I have the all white, then I have the black one that you guys usually see on my bed. But in the all white, I sleep with my dogs. It gets dirty real quick. Coco has a knack of vomiting exactly where I lay my head, so I gotta wash that shit up over again. But I definitely, I need a new comforter. But I just don't want to pay like $90 for just a comforter. And then like the $40 ones on Amazon, like they good, but after one wash, them shits is put caca also. The only one that I bought from Amazon that was dope was the black one that you see. That shit ain't coming up with no fitted sheets. It was just comforter and pillow covers. Two of them. Kenny's been trying to steal that shit from me. It's not slick. I know you guys sometimes see on stream, like, I'll be streaming and these assholes will randomly walk into my room. Nothing gives me a bigger heart attack than just like, I'll be sleeping and then my whole bed is gyrating because the dogs are going crazy. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is me mid-dream. Now I wake up and my room is just filled with people. People just be walking. Like, I could have a girl there butt naked. Like, they just be walking into my room. And I don't like locking doors because it's like, I'm the man of the house. If anything happens, I gotta go out there with my forehead. That's not a sexual innuendo. That's what I'm talking about. Or from God of War. I gotta put in some work. Okay, red light. I could catch up on the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, what about my birthday? When is your birthday, Leia? Imagine being 49, almost 50. Man, that's amazing. That's 5 decades. That is 5 decades. I need to buy a new purse. What about Kenny? Kenny's birthday was on the 7th. I had you guys know because I dropped the video. Which, by the way, I dropped the sponsor video. December 16th. I won't forget that because Lola is December 18th. The unholy device of a woman. It is a bottomless pit of tissues and where this. I'm guessing that's your rendition of what a purse is. Here's the shit that's hard, right? I want to do another release for Street Fighter, and if Lance says Diablo is not worth it, I'll probably skip it. But here's the shit, right? If you pre-order digitally Diablo, you get to play, what is it, 4 or 6 days before it drops? So it's like, even if I get a physical copy, what if like my Connect only has the copy like 2 days before? Then that defeats the purpose if I can stream it 4 days before and don't have to leave my house. Then Street Fighter, here's the shit about Street Fighter and the early release for that. They keep doing man betas. At this point, everybody done played the game already. And I think I need to set a poll for Street Fighter. We need to set a poll whether you guys want me to do a realistic character that looks like me, you know, little chubby, strong arms, strong shoulders, or just do a fucking abomination. So I gotta set a poll for that closer to when the game drops. Next week we gotta do Riley's game. Remember that I said if you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, send me the to the Dead Zone. So while we're shooting everything that's like sped up, we're not really talking because I knew that I was gonna do like a voiceover for that. So while we're shooting that, like my mom's like, why are you guys not saying anything? So it was just funny. She ended up liking how it came out. That was my first time I used the editing technique of like speed ramping, even though I probably could have smoothed it out better. But it was fun. I could probably do some really cool things with that new editing technique that I learned, speed ramping. There's never nobody here, but when it's like a family day or a holiday, like the streets are packed with people. Not like the streets, but like there's like more cars and stuff. So that's dope. I made it home, you guys. Thank you guys for driving with me. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Sunday Driving Back Home. I do these vlogs because you guys asked for them. That's the only reason why I do them. There is going to be a stream later on tonight. I was going to do it early. I'm like, it's Mother's Day, people are spending time with their mom. We'll leave it for nighttime, especially if I got the same schedule. I don't open tomorrow, so we can kind of do an all-nighter of like Tears of the Kingdom. So tune in for that. I love you guys. I'm gonna see you guys later. Check out the sponsor video if you haven't engaged with it so we can get more sponsors. And yeah. Peace out. See you guys in the next one.